Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Helsinki, Finland, and for the ASUS ROG Summer Championship. We're almost through the Group A. We got one final best of three left. And the boys on my left, led by Natu, are ready to take it for you.
All right, then. I've been given the privilege of being the captain of this lounge that we have here.
Yeah.
I think that's a fake captaincy. I think we all know who's actually riding the ship.
Okay, then. Okay, fair game.
I mean, if we ever crash, Jonas is definitely the captain.
Yeah, but
I think
we're shuffling
crash,
in between.
yeah.
I mean, I lead the way for now. Then, you know, push comes to shove, it's probably Joona who's going to be sinking with the ship.
The running joke goes that anything wrong in life is probably because of me, right? So, I mean, may as well. We'll just keep that going.
He's the chief at-fault officer in ENS.
Exactly.
Not a bad title.
Yeah.
So what do we think, gentlemen? It's going to be best of three Escape versus Epsilon.
I'm a little worried for my prediction because I had a brief chat with Henry over there before we went live, and he thinks Epsilon's going to win, which is also what I think. And that puts plenty of pressure on the Swedish boys.
There's dark clouds over the sky right now about that one, but I mean, yeah, it's definitely going to be expected result would be Epsilon winning. I think there's no discussion to be had there. But obviously, we didn't see the first game and how it actually went and what was the issue. We only see the numbers that individually they were just not playing very well. So what do you guys think are going to be the factors if Epsilon needs to lose this?
Well, I think this is a team that Epsilon will feel more comfortable just playing sort of their own puggy playing style. Yeah. They probably feel very confident playing against some of these older players. This is the kind of team that I would think that they would come in thinking we're just better than them. If we just play, we win. And that's probably where Epsilon is at its most dangerous, because like we said, they're not the most fundamentally correct team. It's not like they make the least mistakes out of everybody, but they can just kill these guys. And I think that's where they hope to go with this. Just play simple CS, and if they play well, and again, I don't think they're under that much pressure anymore after their first win.
No. I think it's as soon as they got that second win, really, versus LGR and kind of calmed their nerves after starting off the tournament with a loss, they should be perfectly fine. Like there's no real reason for them to actually start doubting themselves at this point. They should feel like they're getting into the groove of things. Everyone had a pretty decent game versus LGR as well on cash, so you know they should be where they should be at.
Well, to keep things straightforward here, we got a best of three and another group to cover afterwards. Let's go quickly through the veto, which has been throwing a bit of a curveball towards us, as the maps ended up being Dust 2, Nuke, and Mirage is Decider. I guess Nuke being the surprise factor here for all of us.
Yeah, no, I definitely didn't expect Epsilon to pick Nuke. To me, it seems very much like it's they know that Escape is coming into this with no preparation pretty much at all, and if they played five maps, Nuke is probably not one of those fives. So this is Epsilon saying that, well, we do actually play the map, and this is just our freebie.
And also it works the other way around. Escape is not, they're not going to veto that first because they don't think Epsilon's going to pick it, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to leave it out there and then be like, oh, they decided to pick Nuke.
I think a part of that is also, I think there's actually many teams, we'll see how many changes happen. Some of it's not going to be applicable anymore. But I think even at the end of E-League, some of the teams that made playoffs, some of the teams that didn't make it that far in Cologne, I think actually had Nuke as a map in their pool. I think a lot of the teams were waiting to do what Virtus Pro did against SK, where they had actually practiced it. They thought they were going to be good on it. And I think a lot of them sort of saved it. I think NIP is for sure one of those teams. I think they
100%.
steered clear of playing Nuke earlier on in the previous tournaments because they wanted to save it for Cologne. And I think it's the same thing here. I think some of these teams have been sort of just saving Nuke because it might not be their best map. They haven't really tried it as much, so it puts a little extra pressure on you. But I think a lot of these teams actually have Nuke that we don't yet think so.
Well, quickly then, let's go through what's our expectations here. What's your prediction, boys?
Well, for me,
it's going to be one-sided.
Yeah, it's still going to be Epsilon. I think it's going to be...
despite Henry.
Yeah, despite Henry, I don't think Henry's curse is going to be enough. I still think Epsilon is going to take this. If not the 2-0, then definitely they're going to take the third map.
I had Epsilon winning 2-1 before I saw the maps. And I think with these two maps, I think Epsilon wins 2-0. I think Nuke is the perfect kind of map for Draken and Disco Doppelin to just, play loose Counter-Strike, Dust 2, sorry. And then Nuke, I think they just have the edge. So I have Epsilon winning 2-0 as well, which forces you to pick the losing side again.
Yeah.
No, there's no. Why would I? I mean, I think the dark clouds in my head right now is actually going to be Nuke still, because it's still such a green map. There's a lot of different things that teams and players have not just experienced yet. So I think there's a lot of randomness still picking the Muke, in my opinion, in this situation. So I could easily see this going into 3 maps, but it's going to be Epsilon winning it.
Yeah, no, actually, for me, Nuke doesn't feel as scary as Dust 2, simply because we talked about this, off screen. The fact that if you have an Opera who's feeling it, he can pretty much just cut up a map into, especially a map like Dust 2. And Escape has plenty of Operas actually to choose from that are definitely capable. So you've got Barbar, Jumpy, and Katie, and you can all 3 pick it up and actually, do significant damage to a team, and that might actually tilt Epsilon to a certain degree.
Well, unfortunately, I have to cut you short because we do have to go into the game. So, Henry Aceto, I'm hoping that you guys are actually ready to rock and roll.
Definitely not. I don't think I'm ever ready to cast.
Well, you did do your pre-cast ritual. Do you know a lot of players, like they have their...
Eat a hamburger?
Yeah, there. How'd you know? You ruined my joke, Matt.
It's the only thing I did before the cast, Henry.
I was going to say, before every cast, Matt has to have at least 1 cheeseburger in his body to actually be firing on all cylinders. And you've done that now, so maybe we should get a good cast out of you. What do you reckon?
Probably not.
No?
Probably not.
You ruined that for me.
You'll get a cast out of me, Henry.
All right.
I can't make promises that I'm not 100% sure I can keep. However, it's Dust 2 that we start on. And this is a little bit loose. Again, Nuke comes into this map pool, which is a bit of a curveball, as they say, but Nuke is going to get played more and more as time goes on. We're right into this already, and it's Disco Draken, not Disco Doplin, that's going to catch me off. So Draken that goes aggressive on the catwalk, finds the opening kill. Zelos is going to go ahead and get a stag immediately back, and this is Epsilon starting off strong, as we would expect.
5 on 3. The bomb has made its way out towards Longman. The remaining terrorists trying to do what they can. That's certainly helping. It's Maeve taking out Zelos, and he's actually going to be kills coming in for Escape once again. How do they get away with this every single time? Now a 3 on 2 in their favor. The bomb's going to be planted on the A site. This could be Disco Doppler and Freddie B remaining, and then they're pretty far removed from this situation as well. You can see Maeve holding strong towards middle. Decent flashbang comes in. It does catch him, but he manages to get the kill anyway. Just Freddie B remaining now. And how do they keep doing this, Matt? Every single game.
A 5 versus 2, a 5 versus 3, a 2 versus 1 with bomb down at their feet. They are literally winning pistols that should not be won.
Every time. Like, it started off as okay, well, they've done it twice on Cobble, then they did it twice on Mirage. Now, it seems to be happening here on Dust 2. Just to touch on what we thought of the predictions of this one. Yeah, I think the map pool certainly favors Epsilon. Dust 2, they've got a lot of firepower available, some very strong upcoming talents as well, and Nuke coming into it. That's just a foregone conclusion. They're 100% winning Nuke, in my opinion. Like, that's just going to be no way Escape, considering their preparation, can actually challenge them on that map. So if Epsilon can just make sure they negate Dust 2 and don't have any major slip-ups, then they should be absolutely fine. But we go into the second round here on Dust 2. It's going to be Barbar picking up that first frag with the MAC-10. They've got 3 AK-47s, 2 SMGs, pretty standard stuff so far. Sticking together, Cadian showing his hand towards middle, does find the kill on towards Disco Doplin. 5 on 3, and that should be pretty much a round over at this point. You can see it's going to be poor old Freddie B stuck alone in the B-bomb site. He's got a deagle to defend himself, and let's see if he can do anything with it.
Well, they're pushing him quite quickly. Rez rotating through CT. It's Barbar that's going to find Freddie B. Remember, Disco Doplin is known to be a quite impressive player in a lot of ways. In fact, Cadian's going to take down Rez. He was one of the players linked to joining into the Olaf injury at a time, but they didn't want to pull him away from this roster. Then it was a developing roster. Yeah. There's also links elsewhere of teams that have tried to grab him, apparently. Draken, another guy that's been absolutely solid on the AWP. They've got a ton of skill.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a really exciting lineup. I'm glad they've got a decent home of Epsilon now who can actually build on the foundations they've already got. Great amount of talent in this team and a hot favorite for this tournament, I have to say. Round number 3, it's going to be Jumpy with a decent long spawn. It's one of the few maps you can actually utilize the spawns time and time again on the CT side and try and get control of that long area, especially when you know the CTs are under-equipped and won't necessarily have utility to hold you off. But for now, it's going to be Epsilon with a 3-man stack towards short with those pistols. Just hoping they can get something rolling here, but it's going to be Barbar mowing them down with the MAC-10. Cadian chimes in as well. Disco Draken doing what he can. Somehow 2 headshots with the silence USP. Kind of nuts that's worked out in his favor. Doesn't even get the assist there. It's just purely damage from his side. But 3 on 1. Draken has managed to pick up the UMP. He's got a smoke and a flashbang, but no defuse kit is still pretty much guaranteed going in favor of Escape Gaming. If Draken can somehow dent the economy even further, that's something.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, if he gets another kill anyway, it's going to be $600 picked up from that UMP, remember? So
yes, indeed. And
not only that, an AK that would be dropped as well from Escape. So I highly doubt they're going to go on the hunt here. Draken, in turn, is going to try and do something out toward long. It's Maeve that's inside pit. Stag and Jumpy both heading in that direction as they look to retreat safely. Question is Is there going to be an exchange? Is it worth it? Remember, the UMP does have decent armor penetration, carrying it over. I mean, you mentioned the MAC-10 in the last game. It doesn't really do much against armor, but this gun actually could benefit, and you can't buy anything anyway in the third round on CT side, so you might as well.
There's no reason for Escape Gaming to even challenge us at this point. You can see them holding up together. They know they haven't given a rifle away at this point. They have the MAC-10 and the UMP going into this round, so pretty clean cut so far. And this is when it gets interesting. They know the CT's forced up in that second round, so it potentially could be a little bit underprepared for this one, but Disco Dragon, he has got the AWP. Barbar, though, with the long spawn, like I said before, Dust 2, one of those rare maps in the CSGO map pool where the spawns really are important. If you have an AWPer who has a long spawn, he can just go straight up and face that position and see if he can get that first kill. There are going to be 3 players waiting for him, though, but flashed off, there it is. First shot does not connect, but he does spot players towards them. That's important. At the start of the round, CTs have 2 options. They either have heavy presence towards long, or they can stack towards short and look for those aggressive kills. Just by knowing you've got grenades towards long, it means you can actually ascertain it is going to be a pretty much full default from the CTs. And now Jumpy, he's going to be focusing towards middle. Flashbang comes in and actually gaining a lot of intel here as he faces towards CT spawn.
So Rez the one to play anchor. AWP and Draken. Drop shot from Catwalk trying to scout and fall. Barbar and Cadian are going to try and push back and probe that position of the map. And Draken goes for the shot, but Cadian beats him there due to the flash. He goes for the repeat, and that gives positioning. Great shot, Barbar. As Zelos will go down inside of the site. And Rez just has to hold off on long to make the retake a possibility, and it's not going to happen. Doplin may have found one, but Maeve finding the kill on Rez. Doplin's way off on the B site, not to mention as well. Bomb's going to go down, no retake potential, and Doplin just has to survive at this point in time with the AK-47, and they're already on the hunt.
Full default there from Escape Gaming, just hitting the shots when they're coming around the corner. It's Cadian this time, AWP. He's the mercenary for this team. They get towards middle. They've ascertained there's no one from the CTs there whatsoever. Walk up towards short. One CT waiting for them. Cadian blows his head off. That's the A-bomb site, completely exposed at that point. And every single shot going in favor of Escape. And this is pretty massive so far. It's another eco for Epsilon now. This is going to be 5-0 in favor of the underdogs here. And Dust 2 as well, like we said, it's a map that, although it doesn't need like a huge strat book and deep tactics, it does take good team play and synergy to actually work towards the bomb sites and lock down the CT defenses. This isn't a force buy, but it's an interesting idea from Epsilon. They've gone for a scout, upgraded pistols as well. I think they're trying to do that mid boost behind the door there. You can jump over through the smoke and see. Oh, he spotted him though. Yep, he does hit him. Gets Jumpy down to 34 HP, but unfortunately for him, it's going to be meeting his demise.
But he goes back out, and Doplin's able to pick him up, so at least something to work with on the CT side. Crossfire set, and Doplin, he's rotated over to catch Barbar as well. A Stag will find the return frag, but down to 18 HP. The good news, Doplin's still close to the doorway, but Draken's way out toward T-spawn. He does have bomb, though. This is actually massive, because now he's picked up an AK-47 to go with this. Cadian's going to win the duel as he overextends. Bomb still at T-spawn. I'm not 100% sure it was spotted by Draken as he wrapped through from the top of middle. And they've got to go back for it. So Doplin's probably wondering where they've gone. Cadian getting that kill at long. What information do you go off of here? Because that is a confusing bit to work with. However, the one important factor is that Doplin with the scout has both players in one shot range, excuse me.
He's looking with the scout as well. Here comes the cross. There is a chance he can flick up to this one. Does spot him, but can't react in time. So it was always going to be a very, very difficult shot, but has spotted the bomb, has crossed now at this point. I think he's going to go long behind him. I think this could be the right call. Like you said, the scout is at one-shot potential right now with both players being below 50 HP. So let's see what he decides to do. They're very cagey. They don't want to cross over. They didn't have much to work with. They're sticking together. They wanted to give him 2 targets just in case he was in CT spawn and still give themselves a fighting chance. Bomb planted now. It's going to be down towards long. Cadian's going to be waiting in the corner, not facing the tight angle though. Doesn't want to give too much away, and it's actually worked out very nicely from him. It's going to be good positioning that gets him that final kill, and there it is, 5-0 in favor of Escape. Now we really get rolling for Epsilon. They're going to have the maximum loss bonus. They have the option to get the double orb setup as well, which is what they're going to go for. Disco Doplin helping out Draken here. And this is probably the strongest setup you can bring to Dust 2 in terms of like the versatility of the little rifle squadron you have. You can be a little bit more aggressive. You can just have one orb on towards the B side, one on A, and it means you can actually be a little bit more dynamic with your setups as a whole. Flashbang comes in over the top of the door as well. It takes down Cadian. That's nice work.
Yeah, very good work. Drop bomb and suicide. Not that they're still peeking it, but Jumpy's got to get down there and grab it. Thankfully, the AWP is occupied elsewhere as the 2 dual disco AWP setup is going to fan out across the map with Draken covering off on B. Stag has got long control out of this, though. That early mid presence from Epsilon, rather than trying to go for the 3-1-1 or 3-2 split, does mean there's a bit of a gap to work with. So if Barbar can find this opening pick against Rez on Catwalk, a huge chance for them to try and go. But winning that, again, 3 players up can take long, but they've got good positioning in perimeter of the site to try and shut down the plant, especially before they even cross over at the top of CT right now.
Pretty clean-cut affair so far for Epsilon. 5 on 3, but they have thrown these situations away before. Maeve going to be trying to cross. It's not the perfect smoke, but the flashbangs do help him get towards the A site. He's got the bomb in hand as well, but the CTs, they're more than fine with this bomb being planted. They don't want to risk anything. They don't want to give kills away when they don't have to. Wait till everyone's rotated to positions. They can get a decent retake down, and then they can actually attack together. It's going to be Zelos, though, opening up that first frag. 5 on 2 at this point. Terrorists pretty much can't win the round, but they're going to try and do what they can to make it as close as possible.
So that one smoke did allow cross, but like you said, just wait this out. Jumpy's going to try and be a hero from long at this point with the AWP. 1 versus 5. Bomb planted inside behind Catbox for safety. He'll find the first on Zelos. That's information gained. Smoke goes down. Oh, but he's lined it up. He switches to the platform. He's got Freddie B. Thankfully, Dulpin gets in a position where he takes him immediately after, because that could have been interesting.
That definitely could have been interesting. It's one of those really horrible positions to be in. In previous iterations of CS, the long plant was so powerful, but now the smoke is so much stronger in CSGO than it was in 1.6. That long plant isn't as viable, especially when you have the option of having incendiaries as well. You don't necessarily have to use your smoke at the start of the round, so it's a very difficult prospect when the terrorist is down in that pit area trying to defend. Once the smoke's down, you're pretty much out of it, but they made a good go of it for sure. It's going to be round number 7, using those spawns once again to get long control. CT's backing out of it was absolutely fine. They're at a disadvantage once the smoke's down in the corner. Fast exchanges coming in. It's to be Freddy taking down Barbar. He was actually lurking by himself once again towards shore. We are quite used to seeing that. 4 players remaining for the terrorists, and all of them towards long, pushing up aggressively.
And again, they give up long early to allow this to happen. Drake, and he's missed 2 shots so far. A third fired blindly into the smoke. A fourth has done the same, but he gets a stag that time. It's going to allow his teammate around the corner, but the smoke and the flashes doesn't really work for Draken. However, Zelos and Rez able to pick up 2 kills. Cadian still trying to do what he can. He led all fraggers at the beginning of this 9-1, but he's gone quiet since, having gotten taken down early through the door on the previous round. And this time, although he's got bomb, he's got no information on to exactly where the CT players are. Sure, yes, there's one easily towards CT spawn, likely one on cap, but where's the third? And that's where he's starting to get pinched in right now from that long position, because Doppelin is just waiting at the top of middle.
Once again, there's no real reason for the CT to even challenge at this point. Let's make him plant. That's absolutely fine. We know exactly where he is. Then when he is planting, we'll hear it going down. Then we can isolate him, move in together. We may drop 1 kill, but you guarantee yourself winning the round. If people are facing hunting for information at this point, you give away 1 kill, he gets a plant down, all of a sudden it's a viable situation. So you can see Cadian knows this is the case right now, knows they're going to be hiding, waiting for him to plant, so he wants to try and make something happen before then. Does spot 1 there, but I think the CT saw him as well, so now only option really is to get that plant down, which will happen, and you can see the CTs adjusting themselves accordingly.
Smart play by Cadian, considering you weighed out all options on that. Still with the AWP, but long is going to be the problem, as Doppelin will arrive with the AWP, see him cleanly on the ramp. Freddie goes down. Okay, could have been done a little bit swifter from Doppelin, but regardless, they'll get the round and the defuse. It'll be 2 in a row. Keeping 2 alive, they avoid the reset. That's the most important part, and both ops saved.
Exactly. They just want to make sure they guarantee that round with strong numbers available. Just work out exactly where Cadian is, punishing him when he has to go for the plant. So, nice disciplined player from Epsilon. It's been a rough start to this game, going down 5-0. They managed to string 2 rounds together, but a lot of cash available for Escape Gaming here. I think they still have a nice full buy going into this one. If they lose this round, that's when things start to get interesting. But it's going to be Cadian back on the AWP. They've been focusing heavily towards the long area. If they can get that decent spawn and try and push their way out there, they're going to try it once again as Cadian with the AWP looks for the first shot. They take some damage from the incendiary, drops into him, but I think he actually managed to leg Rez there. So, does get something out of it at least. Not managed to find the kill, but you can see there's a little bit of a different setup here now for the CTs. They may be wanting to go aggressive towards the B tunnels here. They know A's been a heavy point of interest for the terrorists, sorry. Maybe he could flash in his Disco Doppelin, maybe setting up Freddie B here, but 4 players outside long once again.
Rez with Zelos this time. Crossfire set at long. They'll limit Maeve, who's been left the bomb, while his teammates go establish a presence toward Catwalk, and it's going to be a default opt-out toward Car this time in the hands of Draken. However, the one difference in this is that typically when you play a 3-2, you've got Freddie out toward middle just to watch CT on the off chance they beat the drop, and Zelos is not in position to watch through that smoke. Instead, it's going to be the rifle directly on the site itself. So a chance for a fast play of Escape if they elect to go down through the smoke. First one deployed on Catwalk, not down towards CT just yet, but a second one on the site itself. And it's actually going to be back through mid that they elect to go on this, with Barbar firing in to hold the two players in place and no one there to watch it. It now becomes a split the other way, although Draken, through the smoke, he's able to pick up just one kill, looking for more, and he may just find it. However, they've now executed completely and taken over the B site, and that's huge. Although Bomb's late to get there, it's a very hard site to retake.
It's a lovely execution there from Escape Gaming. You can see them, they've shown so much pressure toward the A site throughout this first half. This time they do the full fake. It's an execute we haven't seen before. They decide to bail out, go towards middle. They've pulled the CTs away from that position already, and now it is a 3-on-3. Rez does find a kill. He's actually coming from T-spawn as well. The last 3 players remaining for the terrorists are on the side. Time ticking away. Limited utility. Just a couple of flashbangs with the CTs and smoked out of position as well.
Nade out.
Have to save
no
now,
damage done. Yep, time's too far gone.
Oh, no,
There
okay.
is 2 kits. They're going to go on this flash, but there it is, shut down immediately. Everyone knew the responsibility, the respective role, and which choke point to watch. Cadian nearly finding Draken as well as he tries to get away with the AWP. They may still, through the door, it's very low, and a Stag's got it. So, big win for them to pick up. And again, an execution we haven't seen. That fake works wonders, especially with the dual smoke play onto A, and the fortunate situation that no one was inside of CT that time.
Yeah, that worked out very nicely for them indeed. I have to say that Epsilon, I think that was a save all day long at that point. The bomb's got about maybe just over 10 seconds remaining. You've got 3 players to find and a defuse as well. Like, that was a pretty nuts call for me, considering they would have been eco here regardless. They probably could have done with those 3 weapons. Had a fighting chance going to round number 9, but Escape Gaming now building their reserve cache. They've got 2 AWPs here, 3 AKs, and it's going to be a 3-man push from Epsilon towards short once again. They've just got a couple of PT-50s. That's just about it. 2 players towards middle as well. This is Escape's round to lose for sure. They'd do well to even lose a couple of weapons here. What's the idea from Epsilon? Just holding and hoping that someone walks around towards shore, but it's Maeve and Estag. They actually be walking into B here. They'll find a completely open site if they do commit. It's a very difficult and scary choke point to walk through, though, man. It's one of the tightest in the game. You're so committed once you actually make your way towards B, but they've got out of the danger zone. Made their way to the site, slowly but surely working out. The B side is completely open. Now you can see Barbar with the bomb joining his teammates here. You'd assume someone like Jumpy or Cadian will be staying towards T-spawn, watching the lower B rotations, and that will be absolutely perfect. They managed to get the kills, and here comes the push from the CTs now, seeing if they can make anything happen here towards T-spawn, no less. Okay, this could get interesting.
Well, they had to go somewhere to get guns. Cadian will take down Zelos, swaps to the new TAC gun, the P250. I am warming up to it, I swear. Maeve's going to take down Doppelin, though, and really not much to come from these pistols at all. Last player remaining, Freddy B. In through the window, and 7-2, so Escape Gaming. We thought Epsilon was going to be the team that actually would come out on top of this, and remember, they did have a 5 versus 3, and the pistol Escape gets that. They go 5-0 up, and then the reset comes in. They have gone back to the AWP this time onto Doppelin, but the rest of them limited. They've gone to a FAMAS onto Rez, and a UMP, although to bring out nades for Zelos.
Jumping out, he's got that long spawn. Looks like he'll be happy to use it. He'll be smoking off towards the corner here. This could actually be a little execute from them as well. He's going to be molotoving towards the corner, smoking as well, trying to sell something here. And his teammates will be going fast towards short as well as Disco Doppelin. He gets taken down straight away, can't get anything for his money there. This is going from bad to worse for Epsilon here. Maeve finds a kill as well. 2 big players dropping. There's going to be Zelos with that UMP, trying to keep the dream alive here, but he does get 1 kill. But the AWP has been dropped for the CTs here. They need to be reacting a little bit more here, Matt, when you have the man disadvantage and Dust 2 especially. Needs to be regaining map control, especially when you have 0 information at this point. You see the cities are spread across. They're trying to make something happen here, and that somehow works out for Rez. He pushes in and finds player reloading, and Jumpy trying to recover the frag. Does go down as well, 3-on-2. It's Rez to get him back into this round, and this is the reaction I'm talking about. Zelos, he's pushed up towards middle. Cadian has no idea, but very close to landing the shot there.
Heard him jump up late and tried to react. It's just Barbar with an AWP that has to try and pull this. Bomb dropped inside of middle. Rez, Freddy B will join Zelos in guarding it and aggressively pursuing Barbar. Grab the AWP in turn, and now they keep an AWP, now 2. In fact, Zelos got the second one just inside of the mid doors, and they upgrade a rifle. And they chip away at the economy, which I have to say was well established from Escape Gaming. They did well, especially after losing 2 successive rounds, to be very efficient on the 2 they did win.
Absolutely. You can see this investment from Epsilon is the double AWPs once again. It's going to take a lot for them, and they can just losing this round will be another full eco. So they need to be very careful there. They have been great when they have had the AWP setups as well, finding the picks, but we'll see where they can step up. At 7-3 Escape. Certainly the underdogs here, considering the circumstance. Will be working once again towards the long doors, and this time it's Maeve by himself. Just walks out with not a real game plan there. Gets taken down. This is more like it. Disco Doppelin hits a shot towards middle as well, drops the bomb. So at this point, Barbar has to react, pushes through, and it looks like the round has fallen apart a little bit at this stage because They lose a couple of frags. He's been, well, plan's over. Let's just run out and hope for the best.
And as you mentioned, bomb drop top mid. Zealous tries to pull on this, but Cadian actually does get him back. However, 16 HP, 1 versus 4. And Epsilon now starting to get rolling. Cadian again does still lead all fraggers. 15 and 4 for him. 8 and 8. Doplin leads the way for Epsilon. 3 players on 8. Maeve and Jumpy as well for Escape. 51 seconds. Mistakes, the only thing that can grant Cadian this round. Mistakes, of course, coming from Epsilon as Rez starts to pursue. Flash over. And he'll easily find it after the first missed shot from the AWP.
Absolutely, Epsilon looking like they're getting a little bit more dynamic now. They're not doing the same setup every single round. They're boosting Orpers up towards shore, kind of having them towards middle as well. It's actually a nice little pincer effect they've got going on there. Starting to hit the shots as well. It's players like Disco, Doplin, and Drake, and we want to see lighting up the scoreboard and finding those opening kills. And finally, Epsilon have broken the economy of Escape gaming here as well. You can see they're going to have P250s, Glocks, a couple of flashbangs. These sort of instances, the objective is to get the bomb down. Short's going to be the most viable area for that. If you can flash over towards middle, 1 flash on the bomb site there, and just trying to have the meat shields going into the A bomb site, try and get the down for short. It's quite difficult with the CTs to hold that one off. If all you want is a plant, sometimes that's an option, but maybe focusing towards long once again. Decent flash comes in, and Rez has to go back towards the pit here, but he's got plenty of time to readjust himself. But or does he? Okay, the Glock headshots really working out there.
Disco stuck at the car, trying to make this work. 5-7, which also has a new sound that sounds identical to the other pistols. It's outrageously similar. It makes things extremely hard to distinguish. However, Freddie B is going to take a stag. Look, we were hard on Valve about it earlier. I'm still not in favor of it. However, I will say I'm interested to see what goes further with this rifle accuracy change. That one could be good.
That's something we need a little bit more time to discuss that. But if you have no idea, basically they've made tapping and spraying, tapping and burst firing more viable. So in a way, increases the skill ceiling in the game. You're not relying on spraying so much. But let's get back into it. Doplin will be pushing through towards lower B. Does manage to get towards his position. This is very difficult to find kills from. Most teams will be flashing from the top of middle before a player faces into lower B. It'd be very rare for someone not to do that before they face in this area. And you can see they are set up, potentially going to be doing this. I don't really see this working out for the young CT, but let's see if it does. Surely the flash is coming.
You'd expect it. There it is, around the corner. Doplin has information there on Catwalk. He's going to fall to B, just so that he can turtle with Freddy, make sure everything's covered off with the AWP. However, Catwalk needs to be careful, and Draken's just barely going to get back down inside of CT spawn. That leaves Zelos to cover off against Barbar, who has hit some pretty miraculous shots walking in from this angle already this game alone. Zealous is trying to let the angle favor him rather than try and force the issue. Let them get caught out toward quad. He misses the first chance, but there, over the box, does take Barbar on the second. Low HP as well onto Jumpy, and he's just going to control this behind the box. Goes back up, left in no man's land. Third kill potentially as well. No, but massive damage onto Cadian as he goes back to 6. And as he has to fade away, Rez goes down at long. That'll open up Maeve to come in, but mid's also getting swarmed because the 2 players at B watching double are not going to allow rotation back the other direction. And Epsilon now has a good read and good map control to slow down Escape's attack.
Zealous this time stepping up on that A-bomb site. You can see Escape Gaming, pretty standard default from them as well. Holding up passively to start, seeing the CTs are getting aggressive. Smoke on towards Xbox. Get up to that short area, but unfortunately for them, the execute this time was a little bit more sloppy. They're just trying to do a couple of flashbangs over, trying to make those orbs get the first picture. Zealous is ducking and weaving on the A-ramp. Takes 2 players down, funnels them back towards middle. And it's going to be Draken finishing things off there, but 7-6 now. Money and another bad position for Escape Gaming here. So what was such a fantastic start for them. Maybe I'll remind you, they were 5-0 up at one point. It's Epsilon fighting back here as we go to round number 14. It should tie things up almost certainly. 7-7. Have a look at Escape's buy. They've got some upgraded pistols, PD-50s, Deagles. 2 smokes and some flashbangs. Once again, fast towards long. It seems like Epsilon are happy to sacrifice this area. They weren't really getting much for their money towards this place, so fall back, play the bomb site, be more aggressive on other sides, and try and get those first picks.
Spray through. Zelos can't line it up. Barbar. 52 HP left after that nade. Again, no armor, so the nade's going to do massive damage with the flash out. Zelos, he's going to have to go through the smoke because he can hear them going by, but he can't find them. And unfortunately, that does mean that Draken goes down at the hands of Jumpy, and Zealous still can't deny the bomb plant, but he's got position at car inside of the smoke to pick up 1. Cadian, the last alive now as the stag falls, and Cadian's on Catwalk far from the activity on the ramp. And with the bomb down, there's nothing he's going to be able to do to deny it because the Molotov goes out in front of him, and 1 step into it at 9 HP, he's done.
Yeah.
He may survive there, though. If he goes down now, remember, no money gained, and that's exactly the case. Doplin gets him.
The bomb went down.
Right, you're right. My bad. Look, it was a long vacation, Henry.
You get there.
I'll get there.
Sorry, no cough button here, guys. You have to put up with that. Anyway, it's going to be 7-7, and it's going to be the final round. The auto sniper comes out for Zelos, 2 orbs, so they're going all in here. It's nice to see it come out every now and then, and we're going to see what he can do with this one. He'll be holding towards A long by himself. He knows the smoke goes down. He likes to spam through it. Once again, it's Escape realizing they can get towards long every single time, but this is a nice little smoke. The Zelos is put down. It means he can jump on top of these barrels. It almost acts as a one-way smoke. When you have the auto sniper as well, lots of opportunity to actually land the headshots here. He can spot one in towards the pit area. Will he be able to do anything with this? It's quite a passive play so far. The smoke starting to dissipate. He's staying around potentially a little bit too long. Come on, give us something. Anything. Not going to be facing this time. So this is quite nice. So you have one player towards the long pit. It means your teammates can get up towards short and maybe funnel the CT to be isolated on the A bomb side. It's going to be a difficult pick there from KD, and doesn't really work out, but Barbar does reply, and the auto sniper now rotating back towards mid.
Zelos staring down through the door, but doesn't have the angle perfected just yet. Instead, Cadian was waiting for it. He didn't cross far enough, and therefore the auto does go to work. Last round of the half, not surprising, but good shot from Cadian up close is going to draw this level on 3s. Smoke out in middle. And try and start to probe over toward the B site. Just Doplin isolated right now, but where's Rez? That's what they need to figure out next as he drops down towards CT. He's in a good swing, good potential. As I say that, rotating out toward long, it actually gives a chance for Cadian to try and come through, catch off rotations, and Barbara and a Stag can again work together, just together on Doplin, but they walk around, give it to him easily with the AWP. Second shot nearly finds the same result. Cadian does get one, and a great headshot from the AK is going to put Doplin down. So now with Cadian getting that rotation kill, that is massive because Rez left alone, AK-47 in hand, 7-7. Remember our scoreline, Escape Gaming punching much above their weight in this first half so far, as they've done throughout the course of this tournament, coming very close to going through in the upper bracket, 16-13 against Millennium. Now have to battle it out here, map 1. Smoke down, Rez fakes the flash through it, goes to window instead, but he's caught out by Cadian, who's had an excellent first half at 18 kills. Yeah, very good, and he's the mercenary, and stepping up, he seems to be thriving in these sort of environments where he's just brought in and just being asked to frag and have the orb. It seems like they're giving him the roles he wants, and working out very nice indeed. You're dying.
A little bit. A cough button would be appreciated, you know, but I just have to kind of stifle as long as I can before I can't breathe, and then
I understand.
Give it to the audience, you know.
It's true. I've gotten okay not using the cough button. If we don't have one, obviously you can't, but like, you know, sucking it up. But when I have one, I abuse it.
Yes. It's nice to have, you know. Anyway, it's going to be Epsilon on the trail here. They did lose the pistol, and it's Escape who seem to be coming out every single time in these horrible situations, and 4-on-2s, 5-on-2s, and winning the pistol rounds every single time. We will get into this one. It's going to be Epsilon with 4 sets of armor, 1 utility player in the form of Zelos. He'll be getting smoke, 2 flashbangs, and it's 3 players for Epsilon towards the RP. But look at the aggression from the CTs here. They will be pushing up towards middle as well. Barbar is going to be baited in by Cadian as well. This could work out very nicely for them. He's in the middle of nowhere right now, Barbar, and yet they haven't found the kill on him. He gets one, and finally they wrap back around with the 2 remaining players at T-spawn. But this time, it's Epsilon, the man down. Escape Gaming has won most of the unfortuitous pistols throughout the course of this tournament so far. As it draws level on 3s, it's Epsilon's turn to try and pull back the tides. And up toward Catwalk, Doplin and Drake can look to try and approach. Cadian's going to fall back over toward Kara. Jumpy, getting aggressive to find information, just has a 1v1 with Rez to win. He's done so successfully. And now it has to all come to the cat push. Low HP on Doplin, last alive, 2 in fact, as Cadian closes them both out with headshots on the USP. Once again, it's Escape going in big in the pistol round. This time they go aggressive. That's quite common for a CD pistol round, but normally boost towards short, and then you kind of work together and you fall back there. But it's Barbar getting very aggressive towards the top of middle, does isolate them between short and the top of mid area. Actually worked out very well for him indeed. So 9-7 and Escape get their second pistol of this best of 3. And it's going to be Draken through the door, takes down Barbar. It's a force buy from Epsilon here, giving themselves the early advantage. There is quite a heavy rifle presence here from Escape, so need to be careful now. They have actually lost that first frag. It's double scout set up by their Stag, fighting back. Cadian already inside of the long cave.
Stag trying desperately to shuffle guns away from anyone who pushes through middle. And Freddy's low enough that if he walks around through the door, Draken reads that like a book. That's so brilliant, because now Freddy can walk through. They grab a gun off this, and Cadian got absolutely red. A scout headshot to bring this back just within one, and the difference of the kills so far. And not only that, Rez now with his scout, he's going to take down a Stag, and suddenly tides are turning once more as Desperate. Come on, grab that. You can do it. Zealous gets the FAMAS, but this is amazing from Epsilon so far to try and change this entirely. Maeve's going to fall back, flash over towards CT because he's lost track of if anyone's gone through middle. He does find the kill onto Rez, and they're going to fall back and try and take long instead. Bomb still in hand, and 46 seconds to play with. Jumpy's going to follow them as well, having heard them from middle. So they now have the information, but they have to play this in tandem with timing, not side by side. The refrag has to come simply from the peak timing off of Maeve's bait, and instead of that, he gets one kill initially as they cross over. Bomb gets dropped, and Zealous says, never mind, I'm going straight through CT spawn. I'm going to try and make it to B. The advantage, it's been evaporated once more from Escape as they pull down Draken, and Zealous is going to get caught before he gets to the doors. Does win one duel. It's the FAMAS he grabbed. But Jumpy is still hot on the pursuit. Bomb inevitably will be planted, but he's got a kit to try and work with and a smoke to get inside of the site.
It's going to be a difficult prospect now. Jumpy does have some sort of read as to where he's gone to the side. He's seen... Oh, okay, I thought he'd seen him cross there, but somehow the timing doesn't work in his favor. It's going to be Zelos there, coming back in from what seemed like a really disappointing round of throwaway. They got those first two kills with the scouts. Got them to a very advantageous position. It was a 3 versus 2. They got towards the A side there, and it's just getting locked down by Maeve from shore. And then Jumpy coming in the back as well, but it's a nice play from Zedos there. He got the bomb. He left his teammates for dead, but he goes towards CT spawn, gets the one kill as the rotating players are coming behind him, and then stepping up in the 1 versus 1 situation. It's a huge round for Epsilon to win. You can see how that's affected the money of Escape going forward. They've actually had the force by themselves. It's not as strong on the CT side as it is on the T, that's for sure. It's 1 scout, 4 pistols, 2 Desert Eagles. They've got a couple of smokes, which is kind of interesting. I'm wondering where they're going to go with the CT smokes. Pushing off towards short. That's going to be Cady, and he has got that aforementioned scout. Does spot 1 player. And that's Freddy B. Doesn't manage to land the shot just yet, though.
Yeah, not surprising that they would go for the force, knowing the situation with money. If they can break them back, great. If not, they're almost on a double eco situation anyway, having lost second round. So Barber on a Stag. Setting crossfire inside of middle, but not aggressively peeking it. Trying to let the pistols get favorable as they get forced to come close as time will expire in the round. Freddy through, finds Barbar. That's one of the 2 crosses done. A Stag walks outside of the smoke, down at the hands of Zelos. Now watch the 3rd player to push through, and more importantly, it's Cadian on the scout above the smoke, because now they can get something rolling. Jumpy inside of the site itself as another kill as he's pushed aggressively through the smoke. So the smoke goes out of the mouth of the tunnels. Jumpy reads it well, pushes through, and now he has a chance to come back in effectively, but Freddy's watching it with the AK-47. And Maeve, all right, good headshot with the Deagle far away from the site, has a tall order in front of him with no kit, no armor, and a defuse inside of the B site.
Yeah, you can see the M4 on the ground there, and there's an AK as well, so saving this weapon going forward, I think this is his best chance here. Hasn't got a kit, no grenades, B, one of the hardest sites to retake when you're up against it in terms of numbers, so he'll be falling back, saving the AK-47. As we go into the next round, they're going to be getting $1,900, so it's another eco coming in. So just one of your top players with the AK-47 in hand. I'm not going to say it's a really good chance you can do anything with it, but it may be a possibility of finding 1 kill, upgrading a teammate to a rifle as well, and then maybe that's a chance to actually get rolling with that one. So this is the best call at this point. Doesn't matter too much. He managed to get 3 players from Epsilon down and save an AK as well, and pretty much eco round. They did force by with the pistols and armor, but they didn't really have much to work with. So we go into round number 19 here. Things have been tied up. It's 9-9 after losing the pistol. Epsilon fighting back with a decent force on the second. Escape Gaming needs to be careful. It's quite tempting to just even force up a little bit here to balance things up with the AK-47 you have and try and make it work. It's just going to be Barbar. He gets a Deagle. Cadian with the PT-50. Smokes towards the long corner here. Once again, it's the same team going to be trying to utilize that area of the map. And as I mentioned before, once you get control of long, it's not necessarily like you have to actually use it, exploit it. You're just taking that vision away from the CTs. You go back towards short there, pincer them onto the bomb side, makes it much harder to hold. But on the other side, Epsilon have just walked straight in towards B. Uncontested, round over. Once that gets planted, there's not really much the CT can do.
Still grouped they are as well on catwalk. So best case scenario, they knock a few guns down, potentially pick up a second AK-47 or the M4 from Doplin to carry over. Any damage from Drake and we'll take out Jumpy. You can see Cadian setting up for it inside CT spawn, trying to catch them off on top of the box, bait them through, but Doppler comes around from the other side, sees him unaware, and it's looking less and less likely that a gun will be found. More importantly than that, even if they found a gun, it's only going to replace the one they've already lost. The AK down. As to our Barbar and a Stag, it's going to go 10 rounds now for Epsilon, their first lead in this game. And it comes on the back of an eco to start this off, but now money's up. Still, though, no AWP potential on the CT side.
Not a single AWP, no incendiaries, one kit. This is the kind of round you need to be hunting for these kills. If you allow a terrorist team to fully execute against you, you're going to be struggling here. It looks like potential B split coming in. You see 3 players towards the tunnel area for Epsilon. Could just be going for the straight up face here towards the side, but they know the CTs will be up against it here. There's not going to be a single sniper on the server as we go into round number 20. Epsilon, Freddy B, he'll be facing towards middle here. Uncontested once again, so you can just walk out and gain a lot of intel here, facing towards window. And the CTs have no idea really what's going on here. It's going to be Draken to get that first kill. That's from middle. They just walk straight out there, and Disco Doppler finds Jumpy as well. Barbar, one of the stars for Escape Gaming, trying to step up here as we go into the 4 versus 3.
Good pick up from a Stag as well. They tried to push that through, but it was well read. Fnatic-esque counter the flash by a push instead. That's striking with 1 kill so far for Epsilon. However, that's not going to be just enough. It's gone to Zealous. It's 1 versus 2. Smoke still in front of him, although dissipating. He'll be able to try and get some vision in toward B site before they establish these positions to secure the bomb. And Maeve inside a closet. He's limited with movement, but a Stag's the one that's going to try and bait him in first. Smoke out. It might limit him, but Zealous just clips through the edge of it, and Maeve's able to spot his backside. If he had been just 1 step to the right, it might have been almost a hard trade.
Well, the money still is available for Epsilon as well. It's Escape Gaming. They're in a really dangerous position now. It came down to a 1 versus 1 that the money was tight anyway. You can see that's reflected right now with the buys. They have 3 Famises, an M4, an AK-47, and Epsilon, they've got the 4 AKs and the AWP as well. Last round, they were just trying to keep things alive with the 5 AKs, and now it's actually a possibility for them to work some really key opening picks as well. So this is why you see a change of setup for the CTs here. Pushing off towards short, you can see they've got a little bait and switch maneuver here. It's going to be Maeve towards those short steps, baiting an S-Tag who's going to be hiding behind those steps himself. So the idea is here, Maeve spots a player, fires off a couple of shots. As soon as he fires, he's taking all the attention away from the terrorists there. That's when S-Tag can come around and try and spray them down with the FAMAS. So it's a little bit desperate, but it can work out, and the teams aren't suspecting it. I hope we get to see it in action. That's the setup right now I'm talking about. So he won't be facing it towards his teammate above him. Maeve, if we can jump on him, you'll see it. He's going to want getting the first shot.
Either way, it may work out here for them. Stag waiting for the bait. There it is. Maeve goes down, but perfectly played. No, he only gets the 1. He does so much damage onto Freddy, but finally he'll be followed up. Cadian with the nade. So it is a 2-2 trade. Barbar's on 19. And trades, not to mention HP, start to favor Epsilon in this situation, as Cadian's going to redress the situation on Catwalk with a smoke instead. Simply to run forward and grab further utility. Additional smoke picked up by him, as well as a kit.
Yeah, like you said, Barbar 19 HP. Long control established from Epsilon as well. They've got the AWP. If anyone wants to face that angle, they've got a huge advantage there. They have Molotovs to the side. They have smokes to the post-plant situation. This definitely favors them, but they still have the task of getting the bomb down. You can see in lower B, that's Disco Doppler. Watching the rotations, they know short is completely covered. So they can just focus now on getting the bomb down. And it's going to be 2 players towards A. That's Cadian, smoked out for now. Jumpy will be trying to push through the smoke as well. There is a gap. He can do something with this. Hits the headshot, but can't get the kill.
Still sitting in elevator, though. He's exposed from middle, and that's where Doppler walks through. 2 kills in succession for him. Leaves just Cadian, and as he jumps up and tries to get aggressive, though, Draken gets caught by the flash. So Cadian, he's suddenly making it possible, but time expires, and Doppler down below needs not to be exposed on this. Thankfully, they'll all stay alive. It goes to 11, so Escape immediately pull back the lead.
Yeah, that was a big play from Cadian there. Very composed in that situation. Time ticking away. He knows he just had to stay alive, and he gets information of the last remaining terrorist is there as well. Takes him on and falls back and actually goes towards Gandalf and keeps the round alive. That was another big one for Escape Gaming. He's managed to pick up the AWP as well and broken the economy of Epsilon. One player did survive. That was Disco Doppler. So he's got the AK armor and a Molotov as well, but they're not going to be forcing this. All 5 players towards the B side of the map. As we mentioned before, one of the tightest choke points into a bomb site in the entirety of CSGO. So let's see if they can actually do anything with this. Jumpy waiting up side of the smoke. Should be very easy for him to spray them down. He gets 3. Barbar comes in for the final 2. And like I said, it's a horrible choke point to go for regardless. If you're going to be pushing through smoke, you really are asking for trouble there. And it's Escape Gaming now, 12-10. They take quite a massive lead here as we go into round number 23. It's going to be 5 AKs for Epsilon. AWPs are just not a possibility right now. And you can see, though, their escape reading this a little bit wrong. They've got an MP9 in the hands of Cadian. Trying to read that economy game. He obviously brought that over from last round. Was that worth the upgrade? He could have got a Famous. We'll see what he decides to do there.
Tag up with the AWP, pushing through. Jumpy gets the first shot. It's Cadian taken out by Zelos immediately afterward.
He tried to push to the top middle there. He's trying to make something happen that surprised the T's, but unfortunately for them, that's given away 2 kills now as Barbar we push the tunnels after the distraction was made by Cadian. 4-on-3 now, plenty of time remaining. 1 minute 20 to be exact as well. So CT's really up against it. You can see one player, I think, is actually pushing in to the long doors. That's going to be Maeve, trying to see if there is any intel to be gathered here. Not going to get much for it. We'll be able to spot the doors T-spawn and see it's not a long play, but it's still going to be an A-sided attack as the last 4 remaining terrorists will be heading to that part of the map. They've got so much utility as well. Flashbangs going over all over the place. Smoke towards CT spawn. Zelos jumps down, and he'll be facing the ramp first. A short plant can come in. I think the CTs just need to save the weapons at this stage. They have 1 kit and Jumpy's just so far removed with the orb.
Yeah, Stag immediately got out of CT as soon as he heard the drop down as well. So playing it efficient, no chance to go to Cat. Maeve doesn't even advance.
It's good though. It can be quite tempting in these situations, these close games, to go for the impossible retakes and try and go for the glory. But it's a bitter pill to swallow, but it's to save weapons when around you know there's a chance you could win. It's about the bigger picture. They want to take these weapons into the next round.
Oh, well, and you mentioned that from Epsilon in the last half where they had 3 versus 3, 10 seconds to get a defuse, and they went for it. In fact, if you look back at the first half, Epsilon never saved a weapon once. In all the rounds they lost, everyone died.
Wow.
So that's actually significant when you start to look at how their economy unfolded and how they had to eco twice in the middle of the half just to get themselves back into it.
Yeah, it's the CT economy. It's a very cruel mistress, especially if you start getting into the places where you're winning 1 round, losing 1 round, and you're force buying constantly. It's very tricky to get out of that one. But Escape Gaming now, they changed the setup up slightly. It's going to be a double orb setup this time. Barbar and Cadian. It seems like Cadian has had main AWPing responsibilities since he's come into this. I guess you want to give your mercenary, who can be a big fragger, give him the opportunity to feel as comfortable as possible and say, look, if you want to AWP, go for it. I can rifle. I'll take the helm on that respect. But it's going to be a long A attack from Epsilon here. Maeve trying to challenge Joe. He does flash over and challenge with the AK-47. Doesn't get anything for it just yet. We'll be falling back now. So once again, as I explained before, the terror is getting long control. Means you can just hold 1 player there towards the pit. He means he has full vision of the A ramp and to some extent the A site as well. The teammates can fall back, smoke up the Xbox, go up towards short, and then you're in a really fantastic position at that point to actually be going for the A pin set. That's when we see the CTs pushing into B tunnels and pushing towards middle. They know they've lost such heavy parts of the map. They need to be pushing back and he's gaining some information.
So more of a standard setup with the exception of long. Freddie B there. But giving it up, not the end of the world, given that Barbar has an AWP on top of platform to try and stare down smoke over. Lack of Xbox, lack of skybox, easy to cover off CT from far. Barbar, though, does find the first shot. Freddie falls. He's got to be a little bit more careful about his peak because they're getting closer up that right wall. Smoke out as well, gets caught in the open, 16 HP, but stays alive in the gap. A Stag, but he's gone back. He has to find the teammate that's gone missing as he pushes through, and Zelos will go down. Barbar on the site. Has somehow fallen late, but it's going to be a plant only for Draken. But a long rotation still, though. Jumpy and Katie, and both players that got away from the activity. AK-47, Draken, he's got it planted safely for Catwalk, but how does he approach this? Because Cadian's coming at long. He tries to play the one way, but no smoke on top of it, so Cadian's got easy vision. And a smart jump back up on 14 HP after getting lagged, but he's caught in the open by Jumpy. They timed it fairly well. Cadian got aggressive to try and get the opening pick and catch them off. But again, I have to give credit where credit is due to Epsilon just for getting a bomb down in this situation.
Yeah, that's quite a nice play there from Cadian to Jumpy, making sure that Cadian, he legs him, he's got that information from his teammate. He said he can't actually escape at this point. Wait for me to hold his position, you come around and get the easy shot as he's rotating presumably towards spawn or towards short. You just have to buy your time at that point. It's going to be 13-11 here. I don't think the money's fantastic for Epsilon. There's definitely enough for a buy there. You can see Doppler, he's only got 2K, so he's going to be on toward that Tech 9. The rest of his teammates have enough of rifles, but this is getting kind of scary now. Escape Gaming actually looking to deliver another upset here. We're going to round number 25. Double AWPs can definitely justify going for the face here. Looks like Barbar and Cadian go through the facing at the same time. Not going to get anything for it. Does Cadian go towards lower B? I think he actually has done. Barbar watching middle. This is aggressive, but this is what you expect when you haven't got potentially the deepest strategy book. Go for the aggressive plays and utilize your firepower. And this is Cadian going absolutely ham right now with the AWP. And go flashes over, takes down Freddie B and lower B. and gives them the man advantage. That's job done at this point for the CT. They're going aggressive. They want to get at least one kill there. They've managed to pick up one and not drop a single frag in return. So now you fall back to the bomb site. You know you've got the advantage and make Epsilon commit before you show your next hand.
Jumpy just rotating in and out of the B site right now, waiting for any further information to be gathered. Maeve's gotten close to the long doors, but can't afford to push through. He got caught out last time he did so. And it's the problem for Epsilon. No money left over. One round only built up, so a save inevitably when it would be 14 for escape if they can't negate this difference immediately. And Jumpy trying to play unorthodox up close to the mouth of what you said, and accurately so, is the closest choke point in all of Counter-Strike. And now he's actually going to play fence, which is sometimes checked, but not commonly. However, Disco using the smoke, it puts him in a position where staring down the wall. He's got the information inevitably, and inadvertently they'll take the shot, take the kill, and Rez is going to get a stag, but Barbar not going to put up and fight lightly. Does pull one back. He's going to get close as well with the AWP, but missing that shot. No, he actually did hit it. Second one as well. It looked like he didn't actually land, but it was Disco Draken that went down first, and Zelos follows. So now it's escape 14, like I said, and no money left over on this terrorist side for Epsilon.
Absolutely not. This is a bit of a disaster now for Epsilon. There's Escape Gaming 2 rounds away from taking the first map in the best of 3. And they're looking strong right now. They're adjusting their setups and they're making the orbs work for them as well. It's Cadian, who's, like I said, I mentioned this, I made this point in previous games of Cast today. They're playing to win right now. They're not playing to not lose. They actually want to be aggressive and get those first picks, even though they're so close to actually winning this game. They're still applying the pressure there and exploiting a weakened Epsilon. We go into round number 26. It's got to be Scouts. It's got to be a force buy. Desert Eagles, Tech 9s. Disco Doppler has to step up here with the lesser sniper rifle. But Cadian and Barbar is apparently chiming in. It's going to be Freddie B that goes down first. 5 on 4 once again. Man advantage for Escape Gaming. Don't have to do anything at this point. That's the hard work done. Make Epsilon sweat it out now. They're going to be desperately hunting for picks. They just don't have the utility or even the firepower to do it with. Just that scout that's going to be hunting for kills here. And that's actually going to be towards short, hoping someone faces towards middle.
Maeve again anchoring. So standard setup once more for Escape. It's going to be all up cat, fast play. 2 smokes left. They could try and attempt a drop strategy potentially. Haven't seen any fakes like we did from Escape in the first half. Smoke goes down. A stag's going to play inside of it. Second one as well. No drop as of yet. Zelos has already approached quad, but Draken, they've been segregated. He's the one with the bomb. What a shot from Zelos, though, toward long. And now they start to open up some map control. Now they can try and get a plant down for Cat. It's late to arrive, but Dopplin's watching the flank, watching the rotations coming in. All he needs to do is win one of these duels, and they'll maintain enough ground to try and stand on for a potential retake. However, if they lose Cat, that's the most powerful position. Great shot, Rez. He hits it with the Deagle, and Dopplin's still in position, Tech 9. However, Barbar back on Xbox is able to shoot over the wall and find onto him. And Rez needs to weigh this out because he knows there's at least one more player coming from Catwalk, but where have the other 2 gone? Flash over, Maeve's gonna find them. They'll tear them apart from within. Crossfire set, and Draken nowhere to play from. It is gonna be map point for Escape Gaming.
What seemed like a promising situation for Epsilon there. They get their first couple of kills, some crazy Deagle shots being landed. The bomb gets planted for short as well. 3 players towards that position. Locked down by Maeve eventually. He comes in with a real nice retake with controlled M4 spray down. So 15-11 now. Escape Gaming, very close indeed to taking the first map in this best of 3. It's going to be Epsilon, force buying, of course, Galil's, AKs, and a scout. Barbar more than happy to face this. He knows the Orc's not going to be a possibility for them. Going to be pushing towards lower B as well, and he's going to have presence there. They might actually have to face him here. It's going to be Zelos to go around first. Does get legged as he comes around the corner, but manages to keep his life. Cadian, he's got other ideas, though. He takes on Disco Doppler once again. 5 on 4. This is looking very promising now for Escape.
Very promising indeed. Rifle transferred over to Zealous, but he's down to 16 HP himself. And double op, still very much a factor. Barbar behind barrels in B. Cadian going to rotate to default at car on A. Jumping in a stag to play off of the information that his teammates gather and support for any drop situations that come from Epsilon. Map 1, remember Nuke and Mirage, the other 2 maps in this best of 3, if we even get that far, if we even get to Mirage.
Nuke, surely, is going to go in favor of Epsilon. You'd say that's
It is their pick, and it is the curveball. But we saw Virtus Pro do the same thing at a LAN quite recently, and
true.
Not really do all that well.
Well then. 45 seconds remaining. Epsilon One more mistake will cost them dust too. It's Rez towards long. His teammates. Couple of flashbangs. A smoke towards the site as well. I think they'll go towards spawn. And then the flashbangs come in and see if Cadian can hold them off.
They've elected to go past spawn. They want to just get quad collectively, but Cadian, who's been hot all game, is shutting them down. 3 total. It's just Rez, and they know he's at long. He's taken down Maeve in the pit. That's all the information they need. Cadian tries to position himself accordingly, just misses out on the shot, but it shouldn't make too much difference as it's 3-1.
10 seconds remaining, no bomb. If he comes around and headshots every single one of them, fair play. But there it is, the upset's beginning. It's Escape Gaming to take the first map here in the best of 3. Final scoreline 16-11, and you have to say Epsilon looking a little bit disappointing here at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, slow to get going. Had a 5 versus 3 in the pistol. All right, granted, it's a 5 versus 3. They didn't really have the bomb down in any situation, but they still gave that up quite easily. Lose the second half pistol when they had a man advantage in that as well. I mean, the story is that Escape is winning pistols that they shouldn't, and it's carrying them through, but they're adding on to it. It's not like they're just winning the pistols and then that's it. They're keeping control of the economy. Epsilon didn't manage theirs on CT. We already mentioned that. And now they got to go on to Nuke, which is the curveball pick from them.
You have to say as well, Cadian, that guy's stepping up, the mercenary. We said he's the Merc of CSGO, the go-to substitution, and he's actually been top fragging consistently and really being impactful, that AWP as well, finishing things off there. Pretty convincingly, 3 kills to actually secure the first map, but like you said, Nuke. This is where things get interesting. Epsilon haven't had the best tournament so far. They're hot favorites coming into this. Their online form recently has been tremendous. They've been having a lot of upsets and showing they can potentially compete at the higher levels than they're currently kind of situated.
Absolutely. Well, we will take a short break after map 1, come back and see if there will be a response from Epsilon. Remember, they won the PGL event in China, the Pro Gamers League.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the association there. However, that was a big one. They took down Team X in that, as well as MK, the former G-Play squad, the former E-Frag squad. So big wins. They've got to prove it here.